Good morning, this is Laura coming to you from Eat to Your Health with Carnivore. It is Friday, October the 13th. I'm going to go over a different way of doing your own beef jerky. The last time I did one, a lot of people said they don't have jerky guns, they don't have stuff like that. So sorry. I wanted to show you another option you can get if you have a butcher that you can get to. You can buy roast. And so what I did is I bought 3 chuck roast and I had them slice them. They have to freeze them, so you want to call them a couple hours ahead of time. They put them in the freezer and then they put them on their slicer if you don't have a slicer. And then you can cut them into strips if you want. Last week I did some just on there, but I wanted to eat the whole thing when I was done instead of just having a little bit of jerky here or there. So another thing where, you know, we are on carnivore because we can't moderate on other things. So I have to be careful even with that. So I do leave the fat on there. I do put a base underneath here. So I'll show you what that process looks like. Don't forget to share this out if you know anybody that is wanting to do carnivore, ketovore. And the salt that I'm using is the Redmond's Real Salt, and it's the hickory. I really like the flavor that puts in. So I'm just going to cut these. I don't think I want them long strips. I think I want them shorter. So, and you can cut them to any size you want. So what I told the butcher to do is I wanted them about 1/8 of an inch thick. So can you see that thickness there? All right. So that's what I did. You can go thinner. When I called and told them what I wanted, they knew exactly what I was doing with it. It was funny. She says, "Oh, you're making jerky." And she goes, "We're used to you just buying, meat in bulk to do your other stuff with." And I said, "Yep, I am making some jerky." It's deer season here in Illinois. Right now it's bow season. Shotgun season will be coming up soon. So this is a thing that I don't, we don't always eat a lunch or anything, and a lot of times I actually fast. It just depends on how I feel during deer season. Lots of colds and stuff are out around that time, so I do like to fast a lot. That seems to help me get rid of all the junk in the body. Not that there's a whole lot left in there now at this point. That I've been eating much better foods. Like I said, I bought it in bulk, so I did have to do this real quick. Split it up, put it on some wax paper, and froze some of it. I didn't want to make it all up at one time because I knew I would eat it all. So, and I don't use this as a snack. So people who are doing carnivore, if you've been doing carnivore for a long time, you're not hungry in between meals, so you don't need snacks. That's not how I do these. I actually will have this with my supper. It'll be a side for me. So if I'm doing a ribeye, last night I did, I don't remember what cut of steak was that. New York, maybe? Might have been a New York strip. I'm not sure. But anyway, I did that, and I did like 4 or 5 slices of this with it, just because I wanted the extra protein. I've been lifting a lot heavier weights, so just wanted to make sure I'm getting enough protein in my body. So that's where we're at. And these can be touching, it doesn't matter. I do put like a drip tray underneath. I layer this with another one. I've got another one over there I'm gonna do. So what I do is I turn the oven on. I've done it at 220 before when I was more in a hurry. Today I'm off. I'm gonna go see my new niece and my mother. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna turn it to probably 190. And I am going to put them in the oven, and then I leave the door on the oven cracked open about that far. just to allow the moisture to escape. I never have a frog in my throat until I go to get on here. Isn't that nice? Just for you guys. So I wanted to show you something else I've been doing. That way the apple trees, stuff like that, don't go to waste. My dog, our dog, had been acting like he wasn't feeling well. And, you know, he's on regular old kibble and having some skin issues and some eye issues, look like allergies. And so he did a flea treatment to make sure it wasn't that. And I said, well, you know, the stuff that's in his food is junk, and I don't put junk in me, so why am I still putting junk in him? So I looked up a couple different recipes. And so this one has hamburger, chicken livers, pumpkin, peas. What was the other? Green vegetable. It was disgusting. Let me look. I can't remember off the top of my head what the other one was. Spinach. That's what it was. So it was baby spinach. So I ground that all together with several pounds of, like I said, the burger and the chicken livers. I think I'm going to get some calf liver today. I'm going to make him up even more. And what I did was I made them into patty shapes onto like parchment or wax paper and flash froze them first and then put them in baggies. And then just pull out 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening to thaw just a little bit before I give them to him. The first day he was like, I don't know about this. Oh yeah, eggs. You put whole eggs in, shell and all. That way they get their good calcium. Which actually, if you wanted to, I'm somebody, I don't really eat eggs anymore. Once in a blue moon, I always save up my shells and break those up. You can add those too to their food to give them a little more calcium. He's a 12-year-old dog. He's an Airedale, so their life expectancy is like 12 to 14 years, and we're going to see if we can beat that. I may eventually put him more on a carnivore type diet like we do. They don't require as much fat, dogs don't. So we'll see. Right now this seems to be helping him. So we'll see. Anyway, when I walk out there now, he's like super excited, ready to eat. And probably if we ever would try to give him kibble back, I wonder what he would do. Because of course we still have some out there, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I will type up the recipe. I will put it in the comments there. If you have any questions, anything you want to see me do that's carnivore, and even if you're keto or ketovore, I can show you the meat part of what you could make, and then you can do your vegetables and cheeses and stuff if you want. Whatever you are doing it with your style of eating is fine. It's you. And I got to drop off some of my tallow lotion today. I've got a patient I used to see that I'm dropping that off. He said that his psoriasis or eczema is starting to come back, and I said, that's because you're eating bad food again. And he says, well, just milk. I missed the milk. And of course that came back. But the lotion does really seem to help with that. So I'm going to do that. Plus, that's I don't know if you can even hardly see the burn anymore. Anyway, there was a giant burn right there that I did on my air fryer because I was making ribeye fat bites that are delicious. And I touched the side of that thing and I said a bad word. So anyway, I digress. So I'm going to get off of here, get this stuff loaded in there. I will take pictures of it. I'm going to leave it in the oven probably 6 hours. That seems to be about that happy spot. I don't want it so dry that it's like Josie Wells, you know, Clint Eastwood movie where it takes you 10 minutes to chew it. But I also don't want it too moist either. So it'll last a lot longer. It doesn't tend to ever have to worry about lasting because, like I said, I don't use this as a treat to do in between meals. I use it with a meal as just something extra to take in. So, and you know, you could probably do this with other types of meat. I've seen people do it with bacon. If you can afford bacon right now, bacon has went retardedly high. I'm sure it's artificially inflated by the powers that be, and no, not the farmers doing it, because they tend to always get the short end of that stick. So it's usually the middleman and the government stuff. So Anyway, I'm going to get off of here. As I always say, meet, heat, eat, and repeat.